Good morning and welcome to A Message in a Minute. You notice that I'm in my garden today. We're trying this in a different way. We're doing this live. We're on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. And what happens in these is that I talk for just about a minute on something that might provoke us to think a little bit about our relationship with God. And I'm going to start from now. Over the weekend, we talked about, there's a passage that we used in our services, which was about Peter when Jesus walks on the water. And what happens is Jesus walks on the water. He walks out towards the disciples who were struggling with the wind, and as they were rowing across the water, and Jesus walks out to them, and then they see this figure appear, and Jesus calls to Peter, says, "Come to me." And so what happens is Peter walks towards where Jesus is, and he's doing okay, and then he kind of takes his eye off Jesus a bit, and he notices that there are waves and all sorts of things, and what happens is he begins to sink. But what's striking about that is, first of all, is that when Peter focuses on Jesus, he can do amazing things. I think that's a message for each one of us. But the other thing that I was struck by as I was reading and I was thinking through this story, that as Peter begins to sink, Jesus doesn't say to him, "Peter, Peter, look at me," or "Peter, Peter, get back to the boat." What Jesus does is Jesus reaches down to where Peter is in his confusion and his uncertainty, and he lifts him out and he puts him back onto the boat. Now, I'm thinking sometimes as a disciple of Jesus, as someone who seeks to follow Jesus, sometimes I struggle to keep my eyes on Jesus. Sometimes it's really, really hard when there's a whole lot of stuff going on that's uncertain. But to know that Jesus reaches to where we are and we simply need to take his hands and to be restored by him. I wonder what you're thinking about as you think about focusing on Jesus this week. God bless. Have a good week.